Hey, future programmers, ready to dive into the exciting world of Python? Welcome to Python's Basics. Starting simple. We know Python can look a bit daunting at first, but that's why we're here. We're going back to the absolute basics, ensuring each video is digestible and fun. Today, we're exploring Python's built in functions. But wait, what are built in functions? Built-in functions are like magic tools Python provides us from the get-go. No downloads, no installations. They're ready to use right out of the box. And this is going to be very important because a lot of the functions in the later videos that we will be having will need packages to be able to use them. Let's zoom in a bit on our trusted print function and its nifty syntax. Here, the print is the function name telling Python, hey, I've got something for you to show on the screen. So let's try to print in hello world. As you can see, it was printed around here. Notice this parenthesis in Python. When you spot a name followed by parentheses, you're usually looking at a function. It's a clear sign that some action is about to take place. Think of these parentheses as the stage curtains. Inside them, we place our main act, the message, or data that we want the function to work with. And speaking of Hello World, here's a fun tidbit for you. There's actually an anime movie titled Hello World. Some say it's a playful nod to this foundational step in programming where many learners start with the simple command, Hello World. Now, isn't that cool? Now, every time you use the print function with the hello world, just remember you're participating in a rich tradition, and there's even a movie about it. Now, for variables, they're the heroes behind the scenes in our coding world, storing and keeping data for us. Let's delve a bit deeper. Now, when you assign a value to a variable, you store that value so you can call it again in a different place in the code. It's like putting something valuable in a safe knowing you can retrieve it later. So for example, if we want to assign the number 5 to the variable x, we do it using this syntax. Now, equal sign is known as the assignment operator in programming. Its role is to assign the value on the right to the variable on the left. Okay, there. Now, here's where things might get a little tricky. Do not mistake this equal sign for the one we use in math or even in spreadsheets to perform the operation. As I remember when I was beginning in my coding journey, coming from being a spreadsheet user, this was one of my common mistakes. I'd often mix up the assignment operator in Python with the equal sign in spreadsheet. Remember, the equal sign here in coding, it's not about equality, it's about assignment. So remember, when you see an equals, think of it as assigning a value, not checking if two things are equal. So let's try again. Now that we have assigned this number or this value to this variable, you can therefore call it again at any point in your code. So for example, for this one, if I call on x by simply just entering the value x, I am calling on the value that has been stored. So remember, this is about storing a value. Before we wrap up, have you noticed these quotations marks around Python basics? In Python, whenever you see data enclosed in quotation marks, it's a string. Think of it as text. And whether you use double or single quotes doesn't really matter. So to try it, for example, you can reassign this with a single quote. See, both work just fine. The key is consistency. If you start with a single quote, end with a single quote. And the same goes for double quotes. And those without quotation marks, like this one, class name, or even X here, those are treated as variables or other data types, not strings. This is one of the things that produced a lot of error in my coding when I was beginning. It's crucial to understand the difference. It's like knowing when to speak and when to write. In Python, your quotes are your pen telling the language, hey, this is a piece of text. Alright, now that we've unraveled the mystery, let's circle back to what we've learned. Remember, variables are the heroes storing data for us. We assign them values using the assignment operator, and we can explore and understand them using functions like type and len. From declaring simple integers to storing names or classes, variables empower our programs and make coding dynamic and flexible. Alright, champions of coding, that's your Python snack for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share with friends, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for our next part where we dive deeper into Python's magic toolbox. Happy coding!